Okay, so I am training executive service professionals, right? But I am also training people to be the assistant or person that your supervisor, your boss, whatever, your clients are like, I cannot live without this person. This person is like breathing for me. So, one of them is how to be the assistant your boss cannot live without. One tip is if something changes, you got to be on it. You got to let them know that things change, because one change in something, even something slightly small, will throw everything off. So you can't be like, "Oh, yeah, I just found out 5 minutes ago." No, that doesn't excuse the fact that it's not done. Right? That's tip number 1. When things happen, things change, things change. When things change, you got to let your boss know right away. Hey, so and so changed that meeting from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Hey, your boss said he was going to be in that meeting, but he's not going to be in that meeting. Or your boss is going to be in that meeting, but he or she said that she said he wasn't going to be in the meeting, but now she's in the meeting, right? And something similar just happened. My boss said to me he wasn't going to be in a meeting. And then I was just like, okay, it wasn't on the calendar. And then my assistant called and she was like, oh, we got to set it up or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then she was asking me about somebody who wasn't my principal. And I was just like, I don't handle their calendars. So you figure out how they're going to get on. That's your boss. Like, I don't understand why you're talking to me about that. And if you saw a video before this one, I was talking about talking ass backwards. It's like she was telling me what was happening instead of telling me what she needed. And I didn't understand what she needed. So then it just ended up spilling out that my boss was going to try to make the meeting. And I was just like, oh, you needed to tell me that. And she was just like, oh, it happened 5 minutes ago. And I was just like, I understand that, but you cannot, like, it should be the first thing you do. And I use her as an example because I've trained her. That's one person that I've trained. I stay on her and she's doing really well. And because she's following what I'm telling her. I never have to tell her the same thing twice. Never. I never have to argue with her about the same thing twice anymore. It's like I tell her, she makes the corrections and she moves. And I'm watching her get higher and higher, and I'm watching her pull people in to her field instead of her doing this and like pushing everybody out because she's a good person, you know? So, and I'm using it because to make up an example is gonna hurt my head. So I'll just tell you what happened. So I explained to her, I was like, hey, I should be the first thing. Don't go left, don't go right, don't think about anything else. Hey, this is what's going on. Because what was gonna happen was I saw the meeting added to the calendar as she told me about it. And I was going to delete it because he told me he wasn't going to be on it. And I like to keep my calendar clean of meetings. If he's not going to be in the meeting, it doesn't need to be on the calendar unless he wants it. So I was going to delete it. So if she didn't tell me, hey, he's going to pop in because it's a Teams meeting, I was like, you got to tell me this because I was going about to delete it, but that's back and forth, right? But she's a good person. She learns, and I love that. But if you want to be the assistant that your boss can't live without, you got to be on it. You got to tell them, you've heard it. A minute later, you let them know. You send them a text. You send them a quick text. A text takes 5 seconds. A quick text. Hey, he's planning on being at the 11 o'clock that he said he wasn't going to be in, all that other stuff. Next, the next tip, I have 2 tips for you in one day. The next tip is when someone is giving you a correction, right? Because you are going to be corrected. That's the only way you grow. It is. It's literally, you do not grow, because I've had both. You do not grow when people are giving you accolades and comfort. You get encouraged. there's a difference. I'm not saying there's not a need for both. There's a need for both, but growth comes when you're uncomfortable because you know you're not, it's uncomfortable because you know you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be doing that. So when someone gives you a critique, when someone gives you counsel, when someone is telling you, hey, don't do it this way, do it this way, especially if I'm the boss or the supervisor and I'm telling you how I operate, please, 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 you want to be that assistant, you need to work the way your boss operates, not the way you operate. Does that make sense? Let me clean that up a bit. You need to operate the way that will help them function better because some bosses operate chaotic. I'm not saying to jump into their chaos and be chaotic. No, what I'm saying is if your boss is like, hey, come straight with the problem, don't do this, all this fluff stuff. What do you need? That's how you talk to them. Because every time when you do it your way, it's going to annoy them. And one thing my boss of old told me, people keep who they like. And if you, and people like who makes their nervous system calm. You understand? They do. One of my problems is I make everyone's nervous system calm, and every commissioner, every time I took a vacation or I was out, they were like, Keisha, what the hell? But granted, anytime I'm out, something breaks. And I'm just like, yo, what is happening? So it's weird, but I digress. But when someone gives you a critique or your boss gives you a critique or says that they want things done a certain way, I prefer this. They're not saying that you're a bad person. They're not saying that you're not a smart person. Those are your triggers. That's what you're hearing. Growth comes with correction. You understand? Encouragement comes with love and admiration. Being able to be yourself comes with that. But correction, they're sharpening because iron sharpens iron. Do you understand? So if the person is correcting you and you keep giving excuses as to why, it's going to piss them off, because it pisses me off because I'm like, I don't care why it happened. I always say this, I don't care why it happened, it can't happen because it's communication. If you can get the communication right in your office, your marriage, your relationships, your friendships with your dog, your cat, doesn't matter, your horse, if you can get the communication right, you are like, I'm just saying, like 80% there, because I think 20% is just like physical effort, but it's like you can communicate and you can vibe and you can drive and you tell this person how you feeling and they're like, ah, damn, why are you feeling like that? We gotta fix that. And now, oh my god, you're attacking me. Yo, I don't got time to attack you. I say this proudly on every video now. I don't got time to attack you. I got businesses to build. I got things to do. I got people to heal. I got to heal myself. I got to do root work and stuff. I don't have time to belittle you or make you feel like a bad person. That's not why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing for two of us. I need you to help me, help you, help me. Does that make sense? And I'm trying to communicate how I need you to help me. The way you're doing it right now, this shit ain't helping me. It's making me confused. And I hate being confused because there's a lot of stuff going on in this fucking brain. So I can't be confused because it starts to clusterfuck everything else. So when I talk to people, I'm like, stop this fluff shit. I'm not fake and I'm not fluffy. Well, I am fluffy. But like, you gotta come with it. What do you need? Like, what do you need? Maybe I got that from my father too. It's another thing I need to clear. My dad used to say that all the time. Come with it. What do you need? Oh my God. I think I just realized something. My dad used to say that to me all the time because I used to like circle the runway and he's like, just come with it. What do you need? This is exactly what he said to me. The answers could either be yes or no. That's it. He was like, the answer could be yes or no. There's no, you're not going to get hurt. What do you need? So it's like, I think I have that same aggression. I know it's all starting to come together, people. But anyway, those are the top 2-3 things that I think will help. So let me know if it works. Can someone let me know if these things work? I know it works in my life. If it's not working in yours, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about what's going on at your office that you can control. You can't control that bitch in accountant that gets on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? You can control it because you can control it so it doesn't get in your cipher. Does that make sense? She could be who she wants to be, but you don't have to take it on. All right? Love you guys. Stay blessed. Deuces. And we out.